Christians are one of the most persecuted groups in the world today, facing discrimination, violence, and marginalization in various societies. The reasons behind this phenomenon are complex and multifaceted, rooted in a combination of historical, cultural, and ideological factors. Despite the fact that Christianity is one of the largest and most widespread religions globally, its adherents continue to face significant challenges in exercising their faith freely. One of the primary reasons for Christian persecution is the rise of secularism and anti-religious sentiment in many parts of the world. In an increasingly secularized society, Christianity is often seen as outdated, intolerant, and oppressive. This perception is fueled by media portrayals of Christians as narrow-minded and bigoted, which can lead to widespread ridicule and marginalization. Furthermore, the growing trend of moral relativism and pluralism has created an environment where Christian values and beliefs are no longer considered absolute or universal. As a result, Christians are often forced to conform to societal norms that contradict their faith, or face ridicule and exclusion. Another significant factor contributing to Christian persecution is the growing influence of extremist ideologies, such as radical Islam and militant atheism. In many countries, Christians are subjected to brutal violence, forced conversions, and massacres at the hands of extremist groups. The Islamic State ISIS, for example, has specifically targeted Christians and other minority groups in its campaign of terror, seeking to eradicate them from the Middle East and establish a caliphate based on Sharia law. Similarly, in countries like North Korea and China, Christians are persecuted by authoritarian regimes that seek to suppress any form of dissent or opposition. The role of politics and power dynamics also plays a significant part in Christian persecution. In many countries, Christians are denied basic rights and freedoms, such as the right to worship, assemble, and express their faith publicly. This can be due to a variety of factors, including government corruption, cronyism, and ideological agendas. For example, in some African countries, Christians are marginalized and excluded from positions of power and influence, while in others, they are forced to conform to state-sponsored religiosity. The persecution of Christians can also be used as a tool for social control, as governments seek to maintain their grip on power and suppress any potential threats to their authority. The digital age has also contributed to the persecution of Christians, as social media and online platforms have become breeding grounds for hate speech, harassment, and bullying. Christians are often subjected to online abuse, ridicule, and intimidation, which can have serious consequences for their mental and emotional well-being. The ease with which false information and propaganda can be disseminated online has also created an environment where Christians are frequently misrepresented and maligned, perpetuating negative stereotypes and reinforcing prejudice. Despite these challenges, it is essential to recognize that Christian persecution is not limited to any one region or context. It is a global phenomenon that affects Christians from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and societies. Moreover, the persecution of Christians is often linked to broader human rights issues, such as freedom of speech, assembly, and conscience. As such, it is imperative that governments, civil society, and individuals work together to promote tolerance, understanding, and respect for human dignity, regardless of religious affiliation or beliefs. In conclusion, the persecution of Christians in society today is a complex and multifaceted issue, driven by a range of factors, including secularism, extremism, politics, and technology. As Christians continue to face discrimination, violence, and marginalization, it is essential that we recognize the gravity of this issue and work towards creating a more just and equitable society. This requires a concerted effort to promote religious freedom, tolerance, and understanding, as well as to challenge negative stereotypes and prejudices that fuel persecution. Ultimately, the persecution of Christians is a symptom of a broader crisis of values and human rights, which demands a comprehensive and sustained response from individuals, communities, and governments around the world.